Death is undefeated. It never lost a fight. And yet, every generation lines up to challenge it. With medicine, with war, with faith, with denial. We build empires, armies, and technologies not to live forever, but to feel like we matter long enough to forget we won't. Because nobody truly wants to destroy death. They want to destroy the fear of disappearing. We chase immortality in strange ways. Some do it through children, others through legacy, and a few through chaos. As if making the world remember your name is the same thing as being alive. But the math never works. You cannot trade peace for permanence. You cannot conquer decay by pretending you are the exceptions. Still, humanity tries, right? Because the idea of fading terrifies us more than the act of dying. We have built religions around defeating death. We have built industries around delaying it. And we have built cultures around pretending it's optional. We call it progress, but most of it is panic with good PR. We don't extend life to enjoy it. We extend it to avoid its ending. And we freeze bodies, chase anti-aging miracles, upload consciousness into code, and we call it enlightenment. But immortality isn't evolution, it's security with better tools. Look at war. People have been sacrificing life to destroy death for centuries. Every soldier is told they are fighting for freedom. But the quiet truth is, they are fighting the fear of its significance. History rewards those who die dramatically. We glorify sacrifice more than survival. We tell ourselves that dying for something noble gives life meaning. And maybe it does. But when meaning becomes more valuable than existence, we stop noticing how many lives we are born in to prove the point. Every religion, at its core, is humanity's most poetic protest against death. The afterlife isn't just hope, it's rebellion. It says, you may take my body, but my consciousness gets the sequel. We sacrifice this life for the promise of another and call it faith. But if your eternity starts after your humanity ends, what exactly are you living for right now? You don't have to worship death to respect it. You just have to stop fearing what completes the cycles. The irony is that death gives life its sharpness. Without an ending, there's no urgency. Without fragility, there's no value. But we treat death like an error message instead of a design feature. So we build systems to delay it, medication to mute it, and ideologies to justify it. But the more we resist death, the more we devalue life, because everything becomes about surviving, not living. It's why we glorify hustle over health. People brag about burnout like it's a badge of honor. I will sleep when I'm dead, not realizing that's the one promise they will always keep. We sacrifice our bodies for wealth, our families for reputation, our peace for performance, all in the name of legacy. But legacy without life isn't legacy, it's leftovers. You don't beat death by running faster, you beat it by running truer. Here's the punchline though. Everything alive consumes something else to stay that way. Life feeds on life, death feeds on denial. When we spend our existence trying to outrun mortality, we end up half living, afraid of aging, afraid of slowing down, afraid of anything that reminds us we are temporary. But temporary is what makes love urgent, beauty visible, and time sacred. Without an ending, moments lose their flavor. We think we want eternity, but eternity without purpose is torture. The gods in every myth suffer from that. All power, no peace. All time, no meaning. That is why they envy humans, because to live knowing it ends is to experience urgency, passion, and grace in a way immortality never could. We are the only species that knows it's going to die. That awareness is both curse and catalyst. It's what built art, architecture, and philosophy. It's what drove us to write, to love, to remember. Death doesn't kill meaning, it creates it. But fear makes us irrational. We sacrifice our present for illusions of permanence. We preserve our bodies, digitize our voices, and call it living forever. But a recording isn't life, it's just proof that you used to be. We keep chasing symbolic immortality instead of spiritual maturity, and it's exhausting. You don't destroy death by defying it, you destroy it by accepting it. Because acceptance isn't surrender, it's awareness. Think about it for a second. Every breath is proof you are dying and living at the same time. Inhale life, exhale death. That's the balance. You can't separate one from the other. To live fully is to die slowly, consciously, gratefully. To love deeply is to risk loss. To create something meaningful is to let go of permanence. And that's the irony. The people who fear death the most often experience the least life before it. Maybe the real rebellion isn't conquering death. Maybe it's making peace with it. Because once you stop fearing the finish line, you start running with rhythm instead of panic. That's when you finally understand what existence is for. Not to outlast time, but to outshine fear. You don't need eternity. You just need to live so intentionally that time feels like an ally, not an enemy. So why do people sacrifice life to destroy death? Maybe because they have mistaken survival for victory. But survival without awareness isn't winning. It's waiting. Every second you waste trying to control the inevitable is a second you could have spent mastering the temporary. Death isn't your rival. It's your reflection, reminding you that urgency is sacred and pretending you are infinite is the fastest way to feel empty. You don't need to conquer death. You just need to live in a way that doesn't fear the curtain call. Because peace doesn't come from forever. It comes from enough. When you stop sacrificing life to destroy death, you finally understand both were never enemies. They were dance partners the whole time. Unless you really believe eternity would make you more alive.